Back on trail. The big news is there's no rain. Oh, it's been raining a lot on us. The forecast is looking very positive. And now we're entering the big boy and big girl mountains of the Whites. And looking forward to it. Not sure if my legs are, but my spirit is. And I'm here with Pinkie.
Yay, Kinsman's! Woohoo! No rain.
So we're on our ascent. Of course, nothing's easy out here. For the Kinsmans, there's a north and a south. They're both about 4,300 feet. It's going to be a good day, but mostly it's not raining. There's no rain in the forecast. Despite that, the trails are still pretty wet from the last couple weeks.
The trails are wet and muddy, and the rocks are slick. Pinkie and I are getting comfortable with the mud. After all, it's been raining for weeks. But the large mountains and high elevation of the Whites are a new challenge.
This is not easy. Oh, I haven't done this mountain before, but I've done most of the others in the Whites, and I'm thinking this is one of the toughest pitches I've ever done. I'm approaching tree line. The question is, was it worth it? At the top of the Kinsman South Peak. Just for clarity, that's Mount Mousilauke, and that's where I was yesterday at lunch, 24 hours ago.
Today we hiked over Mount Wolf, South Kinsman, and the North Kinsman. Pinkie and I will stop at Kinsman Pond Camp for the night.
I'm at the Kinsman Pond Shelter, managed by the Appalachian Mountain Club. The AMC is one of the only jurisdictions on the trail that charges for a shelter or a tent spot.
Just before I get to the presidential range, so check out this shelter behind me. It is just gorgeous. So that's where I'm going to spend my night tonight. And then if all goes well, I'm spending my night in luxury over the next week in the huts of the Appalachian Mountain Club.
The camp area is managed by the AMC. The Appalachian Mountain Club are managed by a caretaker who lives on site. The morning was beautiful, but the trails were still slick and dangerous.
Now where to? Into the scrub? Down the steep rock face? Or over there? I think I'm going to try the scrub. I have some technical issues. The gaiters for my ultras weren't compatible, so they started falling apart, so they're no longer viable. The next thing is my trekking pole. One of my tips broke, and I'm trying to make do without one of the tips, but it is difficult. And unfortunately, there are no outfitters in the middle of the New Hampshire forest. So hopefully a solution will present itself in the next little bit, but it really doesn't matter too much in the big picture. Neither one of those things is going to stop me. I'm still heading north.
I started the day solo, as usual really. I generally woke earlier than most other hikers. By lunch, Pinkie had caught up, and we would enjoy the next few miles on the beautiful high alpine ridges together. They were always full of surprises, and rarely easy.
We're in the alpine zone, and we're welcomed, according to the sign. A lot of prohibitions, but mostly we're hiking north. It's been a very tough morning, but it looks like all our efforts are coming to a positive fruition. We're approaching Lincoln Mountain. It's a 5,000 footer, and we're going to be sporting some windbreakers and having our lunch. It's looking good. It's looking really good. Okay, I stand corrected. We're on Little Haystack. It is absolutely gorgeous up here. Lincoln and Lafayette is in our future.
The peak was a popular lunch spot for both section and thru hikers.
So that's a big bump. We call those mountains. We slide down there. We see a little building. That's where I'm spending the night tonight.
It's been 40 years since I first explored the White Mountains of New Hampshire. At that time, it was love at first hike. Since then, I have come back annually to enjoy these beautiful trails. It was here I first learned about the Appalachian Trail, and 40 years ago I thought it was both crazy and unattainable. 4 decades later, I was now on the last legs of the AT, a dream come true.
Now we're on Lincoln. Totally beautiful up here. It's quite something. We still have Lafayette.
The trail was now easy, well-groomed, and above all, dry. Pinkie and I would share the next few miles with Ethan. After Mount Lafayette, I would say goodbye to them both as I headed to the Greenleaf Hut. I would again be hiking solo.
On top of Lafayette, it is gorgeous up here. There's probably 50 people up here as well. So I'm not staying long. Heading to the hut. So apparently it's a 1 mile hike all the way down this pitch. It's all above tree line pretty much. So it looks pretty enjoyable. It might be a little harder than knees this tomorrow morning when I have to come back up. But I'm looking forward to it. It looks like a really nice place.
The hut was beautiful, yet a little further off the trail than I would have liked. As it was, I was the only thru hiker at the sold-out hut. The good news is, they sold trekking poles, so I left my broken ones in the hiker box and bought a new pair.
Hello, I'm Sunkiss, and I'm from Hooksett, New Hampshire, and I'm hiking the AT.
Hi, I'm Uncle from Groveton, Texas.
Hi, my name is Brawn and I'm from Germany, hiking the AT.
Good morning. That is Lafayette. And that's where I have to go to this morning from the hut. Now I'm thinking it's a mistake. Coming to the hut. Back on Lafayette. It took about 45 minutes to get here. It's a beautiful morning. I'm heading north. It's hard to see, but there's Mount Washington. I'm going to be there in 3 days. It's a big bump. Garfield Ridge is right there. And there's Garfield, my next target. Yes, I'm on Garfield, yet another 4,000 footer. This is quite an adventure. I'm feeling a little tired, but still heading north. So that's where I was a couple hours ago. Lafayette, I think, is there, and that's the Garfield Ridge. I came all the way down, around, and to here. What time is it here? It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm still climbing. So I've done Lafayette Peak, then at Garfield, then Galehead. I'm on the way up to South Twin Peak, and then Zealand Peak. That'll hopefully wrap up my day, and I'll get what I need to do to set myself up for mitzvah for tomorrow night. I'm tired. The Appalachian Trail, particularly the whites, is making me tired. We're approaching the peak of South Twin. We're in the alpine scrubs right now, and it feels good. It's a long, steep climb to get here. So this is what it looks like on the top of South Twin. It is absolutely gorgeous up here. I feel like we're in the center of everything here in the whites. Pretty friggin' awesome.
The afternoon was near perfect, and all of the next 6 miles to the Zealand Falls hut were downhill. I wasn't able to book a dinner and bunk because as of last night it was full. But perhaps there was a last-minute cancellation. The remaining questions were, will I make it there before 6, and will there be an available bunk?
There's Zealand Hut. It's a little after 6. Dinner is served at 6. So the question is, do they have a bunk? Am I too late for supper?
And in the next chapter of the Appalachian Trail Journal,